Hello, I'm Jim Lampley. The apparent murder of 37-year-old boxing star Arturo Gatti has brought to a premature close one of the most spectacular and memorable of all ring lives, and leaves the fight community in shock and heartbreak at the poignancy of our loss. Gatti was the most entertaining North American fighter of his generation, a premium cable boxing cult superstar whose fights in many instances had to be seen to be believed, and therefore, by definition, were probably seen by too few. Now the legend grows, and in honor of it, HBO Sports will take you back to the 3 fights which go the longest way possible toward defining Arturo Gatti's legacy, his epic trilogy with Lowell, Massachusetts journeyman Micky Ward in 2002 and 2003. On this program, something for the time capsule. Gatti's value to fight fans was already well established by May 2002. His matchups with Wilson Rodriguez, Angel Manfredi, Gabriel Willis, and twice with Ivan Robinson were all instant classics, early additions from his career to the lore of the sport. And now, having already gone up in weight to be thrashed by Oscar De La Hoya, then back down to his more comfortable niche as a junior welterweight, Gatti was not unfairly portrayed as being a bit on the downside. But so too was Micky Ward, a dangerous but limited body puncher with an iron chin who had lost his last outing against Jesse James Leija. It was a boxing after dark showcase for Gatti at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. It was May 18, 2002. No one at ringside was fully prepared for what we were about to see. That includes Larry Merchant, Emmanuel Stewart, and me. Here's how we called what happened in the following hour.
Everybody's expected a good fight tonight.
Micky Ward starts off with a left hook upstairs, not the trademark punch. That one goes to the ribs, but perhaps a reminder to Gatti, I'll throw it up here too. Gatti's take on how to fight Micky Ward, who is a body puncher destroyer. Well, he says body punchers don't like it to the body. I'll hit him in the rib cage too.
And I think he's going to do that too. But
another big left hook.
Micky's not going to get behind on points in this fight in case he gets stopped on an accidental injury. That's for sure. He's coming out off the bat.
Normally a slower starter who sort of builds tempo as the fight goes on, but that's a good point. He probably learned a bit of a lesson in Texas about the importance of getting off early.
Yes, but he's also going to learn the importance of throwing a straight right hand too, because that looping right hand is not going to be effective tonight.
Let's keep it straight, man.
Gatti's been all over the scale, 130, 135, up to 147, now back to 140. I think he may finally be fighting Emmanuel at his most effective weight.
Yes,
and he shows combination punching skill there.
And there's a cut on the right, right eye of Micky Ward. It's on the corner. I don't know if it's dangerous, but from that left hook that Gatti landed earlier.
Gatti's looking very good. He's shooting his punches real loose, freely. Everything is flowing beautiful, and he's moving out of the way very gracefully.
Yeah, Arturo looks good in there, as he's already opened up the cut above Ward's right eye, same eye over which Ward was cut in his loss to Vince Phillips.
And it does look like a bad cut.
Looks
Jim.
deep. Well, you know, we mentioned the 2 cut men, Al Gavin and Joe Souza. You don't normally hear those names in the pre-fight on camera, but it was necessary tonight.
That's right, and if he can make it back to the corner, Al Gavin is a good cut man. In fact, both of them are good cut men.
Al's as good as there is. If there's anybody who's that good, it's Joe Souza, who's across the way.
So both guys may end up bleeding if this fight continues at the way that it's going.
Well, any fight in which Arturo doesn't bleed is an upset. Look at the combinations, though, from Gatti.
Everything is flowing beautiful, very natural.
The fighters who customarily give Gatti trouble have jabs, and we haven't seen any jabs or many jabs coming from Ward.
Now that's a great point, Larry. In his losses to Ivan Robinson and Angel Manfredi, he was beaten to the jab. Ward walks in without jabbing. That's perfect for Gatti. Arturo looking over at us as if to say, I agree with the call.
Good round for Arturo Gatti.
Excellent.
It's on the outside.
Now what, huh?
it.
Right here, all right. Right here.
Now this is Gavin to the right of your screen, and you can see that Al has already gone to work.
Okay.
Gotta move your head. Can you do that?
And Emmanuel, let's take a look at how this cut was opened in the first round. I believe, as Larry said, on an Arturo Gatti left hook. Well, the cut's already there.
Bad of problems as a cut may be, I think the biggest problem that Ward is having is dealing with the rhythm right now. Gatti's got his rhythm to move it. He's doing everything very natural. Everything is flowing smoothly. And I think it's going to continue that way unless Micky steps it up.
Micky's going to have to crowd Arturo against the ropes. He won't beat Gatti in the middle of the ring. Gatti simply has better feet.
That's a good fact. And also upper body movement. Gatti's moving his upper body, not just moving. He's moving, bobbing, and weaving. Mixing up his punches very well.
Uppercut, left hook. Gatti firing from all angles. It looks so far as though the marriage of Gatti and Buddy McGirt is paying huge dividends for Arturo's basic craft.
Absolutely, he looks very good. He's doing a more variety of things. For the most part, Mickey's very predictable right now. And the speed and the different movements is really confusing Mickey. And you can see it if you study his mind.
But we've seen Micky Ward lose every minute of every round and win the fight, as he did against Alfonso Sanchez. You can never count him out.
Let him go, let him go.
Having problems with the power that Gatti's got, because Gatti's a good puncher. He turns all of his body doing his punches, and he's what we call a free puncher. He lets all of his body turn all the way through, very loose and natural. And it's the variety of things that he's doing that's really causing a lot of problems.
You understand?
Whereas Micky is very predictable. Plus, I think the punching power of Gatti, in addition to his boxing, is very effective.
Yeah, between rounds, when we focused on Ward's corner to watch Al Gavin work the cut, I'm told that Arturo Gatti's people, trainer Buddy McGirt in particular, were telling him, you've got too much power for Micky. He's not used to facing power like yours.
At this stage, he's got a little bit of too much of everything.
Started to say, I think it's the speed more than the power.
The speed, and he's shooting uppercuts, left hooks, right hands over the shoulder, a variety of things.
By
body punches.
Numbers, Arturo threw 70 punches in round one. He's going to wind up throwing more than 70 at this rate in round two. And he's connecting at a high percentage, and Ward is just occasionally getting in a pot shot here and there.
The impressive thing about what Gatti is doing is that when he throws those combinations, he's not staying there long enough to get hit in return.
Now, Ward is doing exactly what he should do. Now, he's closing the distance now to try to neutralize some of the movements. He's closing the distance before he punches.
Here you keep the punches up.
And now Cappuccino warning Gatti to keep punches up. So let's make a note that there was a verbal warning at the end of round two.
Okay, now listen. When he gets closer, keep your hands up. Now he's trying to get that body shot. So when he gets close to you, just keep him turning, okay? You're boxing beautiful. Just keep using the speed, okay? Straight right hand.
You can punch on him all day long. You just stand there. Head movement, double jab. Head movement, double jab. Your overhand right, but you got to keep your right hand up. All he's looking for is a hook or an uppercut on you. That's it. Deep breath. Come on, use the 30-second rest.
Put your head back.
Amen. Swallow.
Just keep moving your head.
As long as it goes, the better it's
Come on,
off,
babe.
right?
You heard him there. Okay.
Come on, baby.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
CompuBox numbers through the second round. Arturo Gatti averaging 29 jabs thrown per round. That makes it very difficult for Ward, who doesn't really have a jab, to start his attack.
But Ward seems to be applying more pressure now and trying to get closer. And he's going to have to continue doing that. He can't sit back at a distance. He's going to have to get very close to Gatti if he's got any chance of pulling this fight off.
And he's going to have to trust that Al Gatti can keep the cut under control and keep him in the fight even as he presses forward.
Yes, he does. Gavin seems to have did a good job. Usually a good cut man takes 2 rounds before the blood really coagulates.
Hard left hook by Arturo Gatti. Gatti landing a lot of punches cleanly and sharply. Ward trying to feint his way inside. Looks as though Gatti is so conscious of Ward's left hook that there might be an opening here for Ward to land the right hand, but he's not really quick with the right the way he is with the left.
See, Ward is primarily dealing with one punch for the most part. Most of the punches are going to strict his left hand, and most good fighters can neutralize that. He's going to have to stay much, just as he's doing now. He's going to have to continue to do that, to stay close.
Gatti turning away from Ward at the ropes and back to the center of the ring.
Well, he's not going to be able to deal with Gatti's speed anyway, so he's just going to stay closer, and that's the only chance he's got.
Stop! Earlier in the round, Ward landed his first good hook to the body. He has to do more of that if he's going to be there in the second half of the fight.
He just landed his second good left hook to the body.
You got to remember also that Gatti himself cuts up and swells up pretty bad himself.
Well, and if anything will take Gatti's foot movement away, it would be that left hook to the body, if Ward can get it in there.
And he's getting closer and closer now.
What Gatti's people have been most concerned about is just this kind of stuff that will keep Ward in the fight long enough to bust up Gatti.
Yep, and here comes the Lowell, Massachusetts contingent rising to the occasion for their fighter. And here's Gatti with some of that. I'll give it to him in the body medicine.
Now the fight has turned out to be what we expected. So much for the boxing.
They're standing up in round 3.
Maybe those body punches slowed Gatti down a little bit.
And now he's trying to slow Ward down with body punches too.
Good sharp left hook upstairs by Gatti. Uppercuts for Arturo. Fast hands. Ward's cut opening again.
Ward has got to keep it in tight like that.
That's what they came here for.
You got to respect. Listen to me. When you get inside, don't take that body shot, Arturo. Don't listen to me. You finish beautiful. You don't have to take that shot. Don't take it. As soon as you get inside, go to your left.
Round 4 begins. In round 3, the two fighters, by CompuBox estimate, landed a combined 53 power shots. 30 for Gatti, 23 for Ward. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, 3-0, 30-27, Arturo Gatti. Jim, I got to tell you, Arturo Gatti showing us not only beautiful combinations, but really, really nice ring generalship. It's a big ring, probably something like 22 feet. He's moving beautifully, keeping Micky Ward off balance. When he did stand still in the last minute of round 3, he ripped those shots to the body, always combinations. I think Arturo Gatti's won all 3 rounds, although the third one was close.
Given that Ward is the New England fighter, Manny, you have to be surprised at the size of the ring.
Yes, I thought it would be a smaller ring to favor him, but right now the ring is a big ring, which really would favor Gatti, since he's coming to this fight predicted that he would be the boxer.
Gatti's left eye beginning to swell. No blood yet. Gatti's left eye swells in virtually every fight.
That's because of those high cheekbones that he has. Good right hand. Good right hand. Good right hand.
And Gatti
good right hand. And he hurt him with that right hand too.
Gatti trying to clear his head, comes back with his own punches.
Now the Warrior is going to come out of both of those guys. I don't think the boxing is going to be too much from this point on. I think Gatti's going to have to fight Micky, because Micky's putting too much pressure on him now. And he's going to resort back to what he's been doing most of his career, and that's to punch.
Gatti to the body. Gatti with uppercut. Straight right hand. Oh, this is good stuff.
Looks like there's blood coming now from Ward's mouth.
We saw Ward in those type of fights. Remember the fight with Emmanuel Burton, so this is just one of his normal fights.
Fight of the year for 2001, Ward Burton broke a lot of confidence. Oh, that's another right-hand bomb by Micky Ward. Gatti takes this one a little better, but he's been rocked in this round. Oh, big left hook by Ward, big left hook by Gatti.
In that fight against Emmanuel Burton, the 35-year-old Ward averaged 118 punches around.
And what's surprising me now, he's coming back with a beautiful short right hand. That's what his most effective punch tonight has been, the right hand now, more so than the body punch.
Oh, what a body shot. Oh, magnificent left to the body. Was it low? Was it low?
I thought it was a little bit low.
And Frank Cappuccino thought so too, and he's going to rule no knockdown, and he's taking a point away from Gatti.
You got 5 minutes to recoup.
Key ruling by Frank Cappuccino. Didn't hesitate at all. He was sure of what he'd seen.
Now, you got 5 minutes to the end of the round.
They've sounded a bell to end the round.
Keep doing it. You know what's happening. Okay. Daniel, go ahead.
Harold, why did the round end?
Okay, Jim, let me tell you something. It's miscommunication between the referee and the timekeeper. When Frank Cappuccino saw that low blow, there's no question he should have yelled timeout. At which point, Micky Ward would have up to 5 minutes to recover. If he can't, continue after 5 minutes, he loses. But the timekeeper never stopped the clock, and that's all there was to it. He let it run. He let the round run out.
Does he have 5 minutes now?
Ward still have 5, yeah.
No, absolutely not. 1 minute rest period.
Let's take a look and see if the blow was low. Yes, it was.
Yep.
That's how we saw it.
I'm all set. I want to go.
You heard Micky Ward. He's all set. He wants to go. Why is that not a surprise?
In round 4, both guys threw more than 30 power shots and landed more than half. So it is becoming the slugfest everyone anticipated, despite Arturo Gatti's skillful efforts to make it a boxing match in the early rounds. Oh, look at the granite in Ward's chin as he takes 3 flush power shots.
But he doesn't return fire until Gatti is finished, which invites Gatti to keep going.
Emmanuel, how discouraging is it to Arturo to have landed the kind of bombs he's landed?
It's got to, because he's trading full force on those shots. And actually hasn't really hurt Ward. He hits him with the punches, full force, and Ward may wiggle a lot from the impact of it and lose his balance, but he's never shown that he's been seriously hurt yet. And the only one to me that's been hurt has been Gatti. But he got hit with that short right hand.
Absolutely.
Another short right hand by Ward again.
We're about halfway through the round right now. We've lost our round clock. About a minute and a half to go in the round now. Blood begins to flow from above Ward's right eye again. But look at the distance between the two fighters. This is becoming Micky Ward's fight. They're fighting in a phone booth, and that's the way he wants it.
You know, this is reminiscent of a fight many years back, since we're speaking of the 50s, between a guy named Colin Basilio and Tony DeMarco.
Basilio, one of the fighters I mentioned at the beginning of the night.
Yes. You know, you could take those white trunks off and put one pair of white and one pair of black on, and we could go all the way back to the 50s.
is man against man in there.
Oh, my God.
This bout is scheduled for 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fans are going to get 12 rounds of action out of 10 rounds tonight.
Now they're going to get 15 rounds.
More. Oh, look at that. Look at that combination.
And Arturo, Gatti's right eye is bleeding.
Yeah.
The blood begins to flow.
And he's loaded up every punch.
A tremendous rally by Micky Ward. And the timekeeper can't seem to get it straight when to ring the bell. Crowd's
I see what Frank Cappuccino was saying now.
Yep.
Just aim your punches. You got this guy.
I got the towel, man. Don't worry. Keep that. How you feel?
Give me your head. Let me work for you.
Flawless, man.
Touch him, and turn out. You stay inside, take unnecessary body punishment. Don't take it. Rinse this, Mikey. Come on, baby. We got to suck it up like a champ now.
We talked earlier of the tremendous...
Everything that he's shooting is landing pretty good, turning all of his body weight through on every punch. And at this stage, if you don't look closer, you think that Ward is about to give. Now here Ward's coming back. And I didn't think that Gatti was expecting to throw that many punches, especially the short punches that he's shooting.
Larry, we're halfway through.
We talked about the amazing condition and endurance and will of Ward, and we saw it in that round how he came back at Gatti. As Emmanuel, as you mentioned, Gatti hasn't had to throw that many punches for a long time.
No, and he's landed some beautiful shots. But, you know, as I said earlier, now Gatti is starting to swell up and bleed also. But at this stage, I would still have Gatti with him, but it looks very promising for Micky. Because Micky has not been hurt yet. He's been hit with some great shots, but he's never staggered or wavered at all.
Gentlemen, in the 5th round, they landed 98 punches. My CompuBox estimate, 88 of them power shots. Almost evenly distributed.
Oh, keep that control there.
A hellacious round. So the pace slows slightly here in round 6.
Gatti's fighting his sticks is going to come out now, and it's going to be nothing but a slugfest, I think, for the most part. And I think Ward is going to put enough pressure on him where he can't really box him. He's going to have to fight.
If Micky Ward wants to come to you, he will walk through a hailstorm of punishment to do it.
And you better watch that short right hand that he's trying to get close to shoot over the shoulder. Now, that seemed to be his key punch.
He's turning it over.
Again, yes.
He's turning it over like never before.
And that's just as dangerous as a left hook to the body is at this point in the fight.
Oh, what a haymaker by Gatti. And Ward just comes right back.
Business as usual.
Big left hook by Gatti. Ward says, I'll walk with you over here. Relentless.
That's the right hand again. And he's shooting straight across the shoulder as if he's anticipating the movement of Gatti. Instead of shooting at Gatti's head a lot, Ward is shooting straight at his shoulders, and he's catching him because most of the time Gatti tries to avoid the right by going down instead of pulling away.
But Gatti is fighting a good round here.
He's winning this round big.
He's gone back to some movement, throwing combinations, trying to move away, standing and fighting, moving again, trying to move his upper body. This is a very good Gatti we're looking at here.
Yep, in the war of wills, Gatti has taken it to another step. And now Ward is going to have to reimpose himself as he did in rounds 4 and 5.
Gatti's went back to boxing. I didn't think he would, but he's went back to boxing. He's working very effective, too.
Yep. And Joe Souza did such great work that I see no blood on Gatti's right eye.
Ward pounds his heart as if to say, I can take anything you can give.
That's the way you're gonna box.
And he can.
That's it, baby. That's the key. Listen to me. He's in the same fight you're in, okay? He's feeling the same tired as you, if not tired. Nice and smart. Okay, now when he gets close to you, listen to me. If you don't feel like punching, move your upper body. He's not gonna do anything. Okay, then go back to the jab. You seen you on the ropes, you touch, touch, touch. Keep doing that till you get that second win. Take a deep breath. Now we boxing like Arturo Gatti.
Okay.
Listen to me. Look at me, baby. You got this fight. You can rest all day tomorrow. You understand?
Yeah.
This is for all the marbles, baby. You understand me? Box.
Give him business. You know what I would do? Mick, you got to back him up. He's hitting you here. He's hitting you here, Mick. Do it back, please.
Come on, go.
People in boxing have been looking forward to this fight for a couple of years. They're getting what they were looking forward to.
And 6 rounds in the books, 4 more to go. Harold, how do you have it?
Okay, Jim, 4 rounds to 2, 57-56, Arturo Gatti. Jim, Micky gets an extra point in the 4th round because Frank Cappuccino took away a point for a low blow. It may be crucial in the end of this fight. Round 5, I thought Micky pulled out because sometimes what you do in the last 30 seconds is just an accumulation of what you've done in the first 2.5 minutes. And it was a great rally by Ward at the end of round 5. Round 6, Arturo Gatti comes back strong. 4-2 Gatti, but Gatti by only 1 point.
I have Gatti ahead 4-1 and 1 even because of that point taken away.
And for the moment, Gatti has succeeded in tempting Ward back into a boxing match.
Yes, he has. Gatti's doing a beautiful job. He's went back to his boxing, his corner, his instructor. He's mixing up his attack. And once again, Micky seems to be confused.
And you heard the impassioned speech between rounds by Buddy McGirt, who's been there against some terrific fighters and is turning out to be a very good trainer. Ward pops that Gatti again with that right hand.
I wonder what kind of brains ahead did both of these guys have. I mean, they get hit with punches right on the chin, and it seems like it just stimulates him. There's another right hand again, and it comes right back.
Big counter left hook by Gatti there, as Ward was a little long with the straight right hand. Left it out there. Arturo popped it.
All right, good. That's what I want to see.
I think Gatti's doing beautiful with his new style of boxing. He's mixing up his work, boxing beautiful, but still he's the big puncher. He still sits down every once in a while and makes you respect him.
He can still fight.
Yeah, and I love his punching power.
Through 6 rounds, Gatti landed more than 200 punches, most of them on the face of Micky Ward. And here comes Ward.
Let him go, let him out.
You can't stop him. Before a big fight, most fighters like to try something new in training. Ward's innovation this time around was to rest only 30 seconds between rounds of sparring.
Yeah, but I don't think nothing can prepare him for this type of a fight here. Not only with a guy who's a busy fighter, but also a great puncher. At this stage, Micky's been outdone in terms of talent, skill, but not in terms of heart. He's always trying, but
All right, let him go.
just
Let him
one step behind.
Come on.
Ward has turned southpaw here at the end of the round.
To no great effect.
Hey, listen. We got 10 minutes, baby. Can we get 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, listen to me, baby. When he gets close to you, Arturo, if you're not going to punch, have your hands up. Just move. He don't want to fight no more. Okay, he's looking for the 1 shot. And go back to the...
You got left.
I'm all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Put it on him now.
Okay. You got to use everything with your left hand, Mick. Everything with your left.
Yeah.
Bang the shit out of him. Mick, don't be a punching bag. If you're going to be a punching bag, I'm not going to let this go like this. Fight hard.
Okay.
Get back.
17 now. Yep. Got a punch. Got to punch. Come on, Mick.
Dick Eklund, Ward's brother and trainer, said he's not going to let him be a punching bag. Don't take so many punches. Can he start to avoid them? Is he Micky Ward if he does avoid them?
I don't think he can avoid it. I think all he can do is just try to fight his way through the trouble, because he's not going to ever avoid all of those punches.
Let him go.
Gatti is extremely sharp tonight.
Gatti threw 31 jabs in the 7th round. If he keeps throwing 30 jabs around, it's going to be awfully difficult for Ward to reel him in. It's going to set up the chance for Arturo to outbox Ward down the stretch, as he's done through most of the first 7.
You know, it's hard for me looking at the wars that I saw Gatti in, and he's fought all of the, I mean, great wars and all of the top fighters. To see him moving like this, like a young fighter, just totally amazing to me.
And those wars you saw in the ring, he had some equally vicious wars with the champagne bottle and the nightlife on the circuit in New Jersey.
You know, but he's gone through changes before. As an amateur, he was a boxer. Early in his pro career, he was a brawler. Then he changed to a boxer to win a 130-pound title from Tracy Patterson. Then he became a brawler again, and here he is back to boxing.
Just the fact that he's here is amazing.
Well, you give his management team great credit for taking him off for a couple of years to help restore him and give him easy fights and not use him up, because most of us didn't expect to see him still in the ring at the age of 30.
He's got a manager named Pat Lynch who's been as loyal and steadfast as any manager in boxing can be with Arturo Gatti. He's kept his career alive.
Yes, but even with all of that, there's something unusually physically in this man, for this man to take all of this. He's just one of those gifted guys like Yvonne Durrell. He just run across guys like that sometimes.
Another Canadian.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Absolutely. I thought that's why you were using Durrell as the standard there. I thought it was a given.
And you know, all of the punches Durrell took, when you meet him, he speaks like a British scholar. So very, very smart, intelligent man.
You don't fight with your head, Arthur.
There's that right hand again. The right again as Ward chops away at Gatti. Arturo hitting a little flat spot here. Micky Ward starts to come on. Crowd gets back into it. Gatti throwing a few change-ups, and then the high hard one. Again, left-right combination landed flush. Ward bleeding heavily.
And Gatti was hurt by a left and a right.
That is hurt. Yes. And this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. You gotta suck it up. What a fight.
We gotta wait for me.
It looks like Micky Ward is going to try to pull off another Emmanuel Burton.
Come here, come here.
Still
Got him going now. Look, I swear, in case you got him going.
Listen, baby. You're taking too many shots inside, Arturo. Throw the right hand to the body, Arturo. Okay?
Come on, baby.
Come on, Arturo, listen to me. We got 6 minutes. Arturo, you got 6 minutes. Give me the 6 minutes for Jerry.
That's it. It started with that short right hand again. You know, this fight is just turning back and forth so much, and I think the body shot in there had a lot of effect on him, and I don't know if Arturo is going to fully recuperate from that volley.
We know that Micky Ward can keep fighting through this kind of action.
Ward landed 42 out of 71 punches.
We're not sure about Gatti because he hasn't been in this kind of a war with as strong a fighter as Ward before.
That body shot again. That's the body shot.
It's the left hook to the body. Ward's money punch, and this knockdown counts.
And he is hurt.
This is it. He's not going to recover. It's not like a head punch.
He may not be able to recover.
I don't think so. And Ward is going to go right back down there again. Right to the body again. He's still hurting from the body punch also still, in addition to the head.
Arturo Gatti refusing to go down as Micky Ward pounds away.
In the past, this is where Arturo Gatti has been dangerous.
But Ward should go back to the body again.
Gatti risking another low blow penalty to try to get Ward off of him, and lands another big shot.
Burton, did Ward punch himself out? for the time being with that tremendous barrage in the first minute. Just look at this.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe there's still a minute and a half to go in the round? Gatti blinking away the blood in his right eye. Can't see out of the right eye. Vicious body shots by Gatti. Ward nods as if to say, come on, come on. Come on, let's fight.
Now, Gatti is trying to get a break. Ward should go right back to the body. That's where he should go to the body. You know, you dream of fights like this, but very seldom do they live up to the expectation. This is even more than you can dream of.
Just imagine if you bought a ticket. Stop it, Frank. You can stop it any time. Arturo Gatti's out on his feet. Frank Cappuccino's going to let him keep going.
Gatti doesn't even have the strength to tie Ward up.
And Ward is tied. And here comes Gatti back.
Less than 10 seconds in the round. Gatti's going to survive the round.
This should be the round of the century.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not gonna let you take this punishment. Okay? Now look at me. Look at me, Arturo. Tell me something.
This guy's done.
I know it's the toughest fight, man. You got it in there.
Hold on, let go.
Micky Ward said
right
he
here,
would
you see, Gatti got hurt with the body shot, and that's did more damage. Now he's coming back.
Micky Ward said he would retire if he loses this fight. From the way Gatti went back to the corner,
In most conditions, this fight would have been stopped right here.
he may have more fighting left in him.
Gentlemen, in round 9, by CompuBox numbers, this fight's going to be stopped. Nope, it's not.
Whoa. Fight ain't over. Fight ain't over now. Last round. You're back in the corner. Go way back. All the way back.
I thought Buddy McGirt was going to stop it. After having said to his fighter he wouldn't let him take any more punishment, now we're going to go. Round 10. In round 9, they landed 110 punches between them. And they were all power shots. Harold, what's your scorecard?
Okay, Jim, 85-84. Micky won. I think that he pulled ahead with that shot that knocked Arturo Gatti down. He certainly won the 8th round, so I got Micky won up by a point. Interestingly enough, this round is 30 seconds short because that timekeeper never stopped the damn clock at the beginning of the round.
That's right. This round's only going to be about 2.5 minutes.
Which is good news for Gatti.
He's come out and asserted himself again at the beginning of the round. But does Gatti have a full 2 minutes left in the tank? I'm pretty sure Ward does.
Hold it. Come on, lined up like pros, huh?
Ward looks hurt now, but he keeps coming.
Ward has got it, but he's going to have to let it go because the clock is ticking. And at this point, Gatti's winning the round, and this may be the crucial round of the fight.
I think Gatti's having trouble seeing out of both eyes now, Emmanuel.
Yes.
But he doesn't have trouble firing away. Hard body shot by Gatti. Knocks Ward back.
Ward is exhausted. Gatti sees that and seems to have taken some
Yes, and he's taking
fresh air from it.
And he's winning this fight now.
I am humbled by watching these two guys take the punishment they are taking.
Well, we told you it might be a candidate for Fight of the Year. We didn't know it would be a candidate for Fight of the Century.
This is the way it has to end.
Arturo Gatti, Irish Micky Ward, two of the most honest fighters in the sport of boxing, circa 2002. A fight straight out of the 1950s, a throwback to the golden era of the ring. The courage to go out and try to claim the final round with the fight on the table. It was Arturo Gatti there, an exhausted Gatti throwing 50 punches in the 10th round, while Ward could only throw 48. Excuse me, Gatti landing 50 punches, throwing 99. An incredible performance by an exhausted fighter in the crucible of a toe-to-toe battle.
Before Harold gives a score, I had Gatti winning by a couple of points.
Fighters were on the canvas twice in the fight. In round 4, it was Ward who went to the canvas on what was immediately ruled by referee Frank Cappuccino a low blow by Gatti. And then in round 9, it was Gatti who went to the canvas from an accumulation of punishment. The most important punch being that trademark left hook to the body by Ward. And this was clearly a knockdown.
And I feel that if Ward had went back to that same body shot, he would have won by knockout.
Here's Mark Barrow with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority decision. Judge Frank Lombardi scores the bout 94-94, a draw. Judge Richard Flaherty scores it 94-93. Judge Steve Weisfeld sees it 95-93. All to the winner by majority decision, Irish Micky Ward.
Somewhere in the cauldron of that 9th round, in which the two fighters combined to land 81 vicious power shots, you could find the metaphors for Arturo Gatti's life on the borderline of will and sanity. And maybe you could also find the beginnings of the spirited brotherhood which marked Ward and Gatti's relationship from that point forward. At the end of the day, the scoring was decided by what seemed like an error. Judge Richard Flaherty scoring the seesaw 9th, 10-7 for Ward. Change that to the same 10-8 that the other two judges marked down, and it would have been a draw. Poetic and proper grounds for a rematch. And in our next 2 installments, coming up immediately following this, we'll show you what happened when Gatti and Ward got together a second time, just 6 months down the road, and then for their 3rd fight, another 7 months thereafter. I'm Jim Lampley. Thanks for being with us on this special HBO Sports tribute to the late Arturo Gatti.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports.